went to Dino's house.
Okay.
And then that was how they pounced on both Dino and myself, everybody calling. And let me give you that story. I asked every question. Dino, people say, how did you make this money? How did you do this? How did you do that? And he answered. But what I realized is that, these days, there is so much recklessness in journalism.
Yes.
You can be a journalist once you have a telephone. You can do whatever you like, and you can slander people. You can do anything and get away with it because nobody has time to be pursuing useless cases in court. Without seeking my permission, practically all the blogs carried my story. The same story that people say they don't like.
They don't like, yes.
Everybody loved to carry the story, but hated the man who did the story. I have never seen such a thing in my life. So some people were interested in his wristwatches. Some people were interested in his cars. Some people were interested. So they just, but the wristwatches attracted more attention. And then people started, if I one guy, I hear he lives in America. I've never heard his name. I had to Google his name. And I was shocked that someone who lives in America who should be more decorous. He said Dele Momodu is a rogue. Oh, you will not believe it. On Facebook, he circulated it. It went viral. People were sending it to me. So when I got his page, I went on his page and I said, I can assure you that God will punish you. That's all I told him. Because all my life I have suffered. I've never been in government. I've never joined mainstream party. I was not in PDP. Even when I supported Buhari, I did not join APC. People said Dele wants to be minister. That's why he was supporting. It was easier for me to work with Jonathan and make money. So many people were arrested, including journalists, for taking money from Jonathan. Did you see my name there? Or do you think I don't like money? But it's because I have contentment. I do my work. If you want ovation to do anything for you, you negotiate with my company. It's a company. I don't go around begging governors or ministers to come and give me money. People don't understand this. So you can imagine how pained I was that someone will wake up, someone who probably ran to America because he couldn't survive in Nigeria. He ran to America, and from America, you're calling someone in Nigeria a rogue. How? Am I a rogue? Did I steal your father's money? Another person on my birthday who calls himself a journalist. I refuse to mention their name because I will not dignify them with that. I know some of them for attention, some of them are envious, but I don't have any problem with them. On my birthday, a journalist could not wish me happy 60th birthday. All he could wish me was Dele Momodu is not a journalist. What is my offense? I didn't go to journalism school. Journalism is the only profession. Today, I went on Google and I went there, and I have definitions of a journalist. There is nothing there that says you must go to a journalism school. A doctor can be, just a minute.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Yes. A journalist can be, a doctor can be a journalist. Do you understand?
Yes.
A doctor can be a journalist and publish medical journals. In fact, one of the best medical journals in Nigeria at the time was by a doctor called Dr. Laoshe, because I'm sure you remember.
Yes.
So, did you go to journalism school? No. For me, one of the best journalists in sports today was a footballer, Uncle Segun Odegbami.
That's true.
Anybody can be a journalist. And the tool of journalism, that's what I'm trying to find for you. I posted it just...
Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to see if I can get it again. I think I can get it. A journalist is a person who collects, writes, photographs, processes, edits, or comments on news or other topical information to the public. A journalist's work is called journalism. Please, where in that description did he say you must go to a journalism school? There is nowhere. Did you go to a journalism school, Sheye?
No, until I started practicing.
Exactly. But when you started practicing, did anybody ask you for a certificate from a journalism school?
No, at all.
And yet you were one of our best writers.
Thank you.
You were one of, no, I'm not trying to patronize you. The truth is, that's why you are still relevant.
Yeah.
Those who call themselves journalists, how many of them ended up doing anything with it? I was teaching part-time at journalism school in Ogba, NIJ. Yes, Chief Dayodu liked me so much. I've never seen an older icon love a younger man like that, that he invited me when he was heading NIJ for me to come and take part-time teaching appointment. And I wasn't asking for any kobo. Chief Olusegun Oshoba, I call him my godfather in journalism. Till today, he calls himself a reporter at over 80. And that is the man, when I came to Lagos in 1988, Ebenezer Obey released an album in his praise. Olusegun Omo Oshoba Akinrogun. And till today, he still reports. Almost on daily basis, I receive reports from him. He knows what is happening everywhere in the world. And he has never said, Dele, he will tell you that Dele is one of the best reporters he knows. And yet some people are getting angry. The tool of reporting is language. The tool, as I told you, my former editor, Louis Obi at Concord, said he would rather hire a writer than hire a journalism graduate, because the tool of the trade is language. And God gave me that. I have a first degree in Yoruba language, and I have a master's degree in literature in English. So for me, it's unfortunate, and it's an unnecessary distraction when you have to deal with negative people. But I'm happy because I served my tutelage under great men and women in the past. And I knew about their trials and tribulations. And I knew that you cannot be a great man if you don't pass through trials and tribulations. When your friends, your colleagues, your associates begin to attack you, that's when you know that you are doing something phenomenal. And that's the situation. Yes, as a human being, I may feel pain, but I get over it very quickly because I cannot challenge God. God has been very kind to me. I built my career slowly but steadily. I was never in a rush. Never. And I learned something from Chief Abiola. I made sure I was not a local champion. That's one of the things I learned from Chief Abiola. And that is why if you go to different parts of the world, from Australia to Canada to China to India, I've traversed everywhere doing my job. If I tell people, if a friend of mine is doing something and he says, oh, I don't want to vacation there, I will politely decline going there. Because if you don't respect my job, you don't want my job, even if it's for free, you must respect my job. And we don't get crashed. We don't get crashed into parties. We have that principle in Ovation. We do stories where if you don't welcome us, we won't waste our time with you.
How have you found the social media?
You said?
How have you found the social media?
Oh, social media. Well, I'm a very lucky man. You know, I contested to be president of Nigeria in 2011. That's another story. And of course, I lost and lost miserably. But I gained something. And I like, again, I'm a storyteller. I like to tell the story of how one day I was about flying out of New York to London. I was already on Virgin Atlantic. And I got a call from Pastor T.B. Joshua. I don't attend his church, but he's someone who likes me a lot, and we interact from time to time because I do stories about everybody, including pastors. So he said, Alagba, where are you? Like support me. Alagba, where are you? I said, I'm in New York. I'm going to London. He said, okay. So I went to see him when I got back. And he said he saw what I was doing, that I want to be president, that you are not going to make it, but I don't want you to stop. And I'm like, the thing is too is too cumbersome. He said, don't worry yourself. Just carry on with what you are doing, because you are going to become very relevant if you can follow it through. Even if you don't win, you will still be a winner. I'll never forget. That night, he gave me money to support me. He said, you are not going to win. He said, but I want to encourage you. He called me a second time again and gave me money. And he said, people like you must be encouraged in Nigeria, because I know you are a good man. I've followed you. I've watched you. And that's what he did for me. But the story is that re-energized me. And I kept going. So what did I invest in? I invested, social media was just getting popular, by Twitter and the rest of them. So we started with Twitter. I had a young man. If I had young people working for me all through, the main ones, Oyimai Godwin Amaize, Bankole Omishore, and Oluwatobi Sonny. So the three of them were working with me, and they encouraged me to get interested in Twitter. But I wasn't handling it. So by the time I lost the election, they were still handling it then. By January 2012, during that fuel subsidy demonstration, I now realized that I needed to react more promptly to issues. But I was always waiting for them to do it for me. Then I now told them, please come and teach me how to do Twitter. That was how I joined Twitter myself. They have taken me to 13,000 followers by then. You will not believe it. Between 2012 and now, I have 1.3 million followers. So that's what I've converted now from politics to business. So I was way ahead of my contemporaries. Now, I think that's part of the problem. Why a lot of people are saying, but boy, what's your own? You're always ahead. No, it's just God. It is just God. You know, so that if you lose politics, if you lose politically, don't lose professionally. Then Instagram came, and I remember one day, Fumi Yoda.
Yes.
Very profound, very intelligent lady, said, Bob D, do you know Instagram, Ovation is Instagram before Instagram? I said, what? People used to abuse Ovation. That Ovation is all about photographs, no story, no story. Not knowing that the white man is going to bring something for us, that we copy that Ovation and turn it into an electronic version, and it will be a bomb. What were people buying in Ovation? It's pictures. What are we selling to today? It's pictures. So fortunately for us, we already have a good reservoir of millions of shots from all over the world. So today on my phone, I can do a whole, if they said someone dies today, I'm almost certain that we have that person's picture. And without going to Google or anything, on my own, anybody who is a newsmaker in Nigeria, I will have his picture somewhere on my phones. And so that's what I've been doing. And God has made it quite exciting for me. Again, I blog on Okon Waja. That's what they call it. There are many roads to a marketplace. So before, blogging was the exclusive preserve of young people. You had Linda Ikeji, you have Bolori, Supergirl, you have Bella Naija, you have, and then later, of course, you have others. So today, if you come on my page from morning till night, you will find exciting stories. In fact, now people send me stories on their own. Once they see something that they know will be of interest to Dele Momodu Ovation. So what I've done is to build a double brand. Again, that I learned from Richard Branson, because he was able to build. If you mention Richard Branson, your mind goes to Virgin. If you mention Virgin, your mind goes to Richard. So the same thing, if you mention Ovation, your mind will go to Daily Momodu. If you mention Daily Momodu, your mind will go to Ovation. So my name, my handle on those platforms is now Daily Momodu Ovation. So if you don't know Ovation, you will know Daily Momodu. If you don't know Daily, you will know Ovation. So it's just the trick of the trade, and I'm enjoying it.